Black Templars 10th edition lore update. Welcome, gentle listener, I am Baldermort, your faithful servant, and I wish to introduce you to the forces, factions and faces of the Warhammer 40k setting. The grim darkness of the far future, where there is no time for peace, there is only time for war. This video marks the end of my brief couple of weeks at lower output levels. From next week, September arrives, and we shall be back on the more robust and interesting entries. I just needed a wee respite before the storm due to a little burnout. But I now feel rested and raring to tell you more stories of the grim darkness of the far future. I enthusiastically look forward to putting out more banquets on the table. I hope to see you there. Now, let us hear the latest lore update for the Black Templars. Alas, it will be quite brief. To quote, Crusaders of the God Emperor. Faith in the God Emperor burns with an unquenchable flame within the souls of the Black Templars. It fuels a zealous wrath and knightly devotion that is impossible to hold back or escape. They wage a never-ending and all-consuming crusade against the Emperor's foes. Hatred and repugnance drives them on, fueling one shockingly violent assault after another. For those they denounce as most abhorrent, there is no offer of redemption or even a merciful death. The heretic, the alien, the mutant, the witch. None are spared the blade or the pyre at the hands of these righteous executioners. Scions of Rogel Dawn, the Black Templars exemplify their Primarch's unflinching will and stubbornly unwavering clarity of purpose. In them is the spirit of the Emperor's original legions kept alive, for they are his eternal crusaders. They bestride the stars like avenging paladins, the fount of their faith, a lit brazier that illuminates all their foes would hide. With zealous fanaticism wedded to the superhuman genetic gifts of the Emperor, none can stand before their fury. To the Black Templars, there is no ambiguity in the galaxy. It is the Emperor's by divine right. Those who dare deny this fundamental rule, by word, deed, or existence, cry out for the sword's edge and the fire's caress. And the Black Templars offer both. Late M41, the Crucible of Armageddon. High Marshal Helbrecht answers calls to defend Armageddon, leading 3 crusades of warriors against the Orcs. Many fought bloody campaigns in the Ash Wastes and at Hive Hill's Reach, where Chaplain Grimaldus was the sole survivor of the battle for the Temple of the Emperor Ascendant. In contrast, in the Void, Helbrecht's Crusaders fought a deadly boarding campaign that eviscerated dozens of Xenos vessels. A fervent chapter. The Battle Brothers of the Black Templars purge the enemies of the Emperor with blade, bolt, and fire. Their faith is a raging inferno of zeal. Their martial creed one of furious intolerance and vehement hatred that utterly consumes the heretic, the alien, the witch, and the mutant. The Black Templars are an ever-crusading chapter of Space Marines. Their origins lie in a fractured time of anarchy and confusion 10 millennia ago. An age of myth when their first High Marshal, the revered champion Sigismund, still bestrode the galaxy. Sigismund's heirs have held true to his foundational oaths through the darkening eras since. Their eternal pledge is to serve the Emperor of mankind by ceaselessly destroying his enemies. Few concepts of martial honor or warrior's code are upheld as passionately as the Black Templars cleave to their vows, for they are made with the unwavering dedication of true zealots. The majority of the Adeptus Astartes vaunt the Emperor as the greatest pinnacle of the human species, but maintain their cultures of secular spirituality. The Black Templars, instead, are fierce adherents of the Imperial Creed. They worship the Master of Mankind as the God Emperor. He is the divinity to whom they owe everything. Their genetically augmented physiologies, their artificer-crafted tools of death, their power armor hung with purity seals and war engines acid-etched with fiery scripture, and above all, their holy mission of eternal crusade. A detestation of witches. The Black Templars do not maintain a corps of the battle psychers, known in other chapters as librarians. The heirs of Sigismund cleave to a decree the Emperor is said to have made before the terrors of the Horus heresy unfolded, forbidding the use of supernatural powers amongst the Space Marines. The Black Templars despise what they see as occult manipulation and witchcraft amongst Xenos psychers, heretic sorcerers, and warp-tainted abominations. Those Imperial Psyker mutants whom the chapter's fleets rely upon, such as astropaths, are grudgingly tolerated but cruelly treated. Chained in cramped cells out of sight when not immediately needed. Conversely, there are some highly placed Imperial Psychers whom the Black Templars judge to be vessels of the Emperor's will. While the power is attributed to the Master of Mankind himself, the greatest Psyker humanity has ever known are, to those crusading zealots, simply evidence of his divinity. A litany of hate. Pleas for aid and salvation ceaselessly assail the Black Templars. They see the escalating threats in the era Indomitus, of sinful cults, Xenos predation, and the backsliding of faith in the God Emperor, and they respond to such heresies with vehement hatred and righteous fire. War zones. Armageddon. Helbrecht's crusade returns to the hive world it was named for, following a vision the High Marshal knows was sent with the sacred blessings of the God Emperor. In the Armageddon system, Helbrecht discovers the planet seething with bloody conflict as the murder-hungry followers of Khorne seek destruction on such a scale as to drown Armageddon in the warp's energy. Allying with the Space Wolves and Grey Knights, Helbrecht swears to bring the blade of imperial retribution to the Blood Hosts. The High Marshal is fighting across the continent of Armageddon Secundus when a mighty fleet of World Eaters, led by Angron, arrives without warning. Following the costly battles for the Eumenides Bridge and the purging of Thoradis, Helbrecht sets aside tensions with the Space Wolves to coordinate an epic push through the fire wastes. Here he seals a sacred rite by the Grey Knights to finally seal a blasphemous tear in reality. Pergus. Marshal Holger pushes on in his quest to crush the Necrons of the Vetrica subsector. With the Xenos hold on Vetrica Primus broken and ecclesiastical followers of Saint Bastifuus, the Builder, overseeing the furious dismantling of the Necron Fane that had arisen, Holger turns to Vetrica Quintus. His enemy is building strength there, and Holger has already expended much of his fleet's capability to take the capital world. But in the ruins of the Necron Fane, the Black Templars breach hidden dolmen gates connecting the two planets. The Pergus crusade surges through, taking the fight to the heart of the Xenos invaders. Heimdal. Battle Group Erastus, also known as Samuel's Hammer, follow the lead of the Heimdal crusade through the fringes of the Eye of Terror. Alerted by Sisters Dialogus of the Battle Group to the detection of corrupted astropathic communications, Marshal Gaydon traces them to a veiled forge moon in the thrall of the Iron Warrior's traitor Legion. Rousing the battle group's most pious forces, Gaydon vows to break the forge moon apart. Bulvasta. The nightmarish veil of the so-called anomaly is still spreading to the galactic south of the Nephilim subsector. Broken astropathic signals tell of a world haunted by quicksilver shadows with ghoulish visages. The Bulvasta crusade are close enough to respond, and arrive to discover multiple cities being raided by hunting Eldari in outlandish multicolored garb. The Black Templars attack immediately and identify several of the Xenos' hateful witches amongst the invaders. The massive infernos resulting from their fervent hunt of the creatures consumes entire districts, but at last They corner the final of the Xenos witches, bathing it in holy fire. Morosius. Supporting an Ordo Hereticus conclave, seeking a viable channel through the perilous maelstrom of the Great Rift, the Morosius crusade has deployed towards the galactic core. Marshal Demir's warriors are the conclave's flaming hammer in the dense and anomalous region, smiting or incinerating those who would impede the Inquisitor's exploration. Numerous Xenos strongholds and pirate enclaves have fallen to their wrath, as have several kindred outposts of the Urani Certa Regulates. Kodomian. In the Charnath expanse, Marshal Malga's crusade has been a burning brand of imperial inspiration to many isolated worlds, whether those worlds welcome them or not. The populations that tenaciously clung to their faith in the God Emperor have often endured where others have perished. Still, fear in the absence of word from Terra has taken root everywhere. The Kodomian crusade has descended upon many systems that have survived, destroying any knots of doom-mongering, claiming the Imperium has fallen. They have shown such worlds, though sometimes excessively destructive examples. They have shown such worlds, through sometimes excessively destructive examples, that the Imperium does indeed endure, and have reaped harvests of zealous and willing recruits with their chaplain's proclamations that the God Emperor has a higher purpose and duty made ready for those who are worthy. And please be aware that I will be doing a separate entry for Execrators and Crusade Ancients. End quote. I have been Baldermort, your faithful servant. Like and subscribe, all the usual. And by the way, we have some pins now, so go have a look in the video description. And of course, for all kind of news, updates, and quite a few tinfoil rants, you know, about rumours, etc., do check out a good friend of the channel, Chapter Master Valrak. He's entertaining, so give him a chance. And while I'm doing shoutouts, please go and have a quick shufti at A Border Prince. If you don't know him, then you certainly should. Links will be in the video description to both channels. And now, no matter what you do today, do try to make some time for fun. Toodaloo.